I'm currently climbing up the top of the mountain, which is steep, and the downhill I'm going to go is very steep. It's 10, 11, 13% down, and I'll compare it to the other mountain which is nearby, which is steep to climb but has more moderate downhill gradient. And I'll compare my descent speed where I'm faster. Either it's steep downhill with sharp turns, or more moderate, more straight, still curvy, but not that steep, only 8 to 7%. But a more moderate downhill, like the start of this top of the mountain, is more efficient. At least that's my first impression. But I'll do 2 rides, one steep downhill, one more moderate downhill, and then I'll compare my top speeds, average speed, the time to descent, and the overall feeling on the downhill on one and the other. Okay, here we start. I'm at the top of the peak and I'll start descending. I could go a little higher, but that's a single track. It's mostly for walking. I might not be able to ride my road bike down there. So in the beginning, it's only a few percent downhill, but as we go down, the steepness will increase. And even now I have to use my brakes and stop pedaling because there is dirt and the tight curves, and I might slip, and if I fall down, that's not painful, it's deadly, because down there it's about 100 meters, at least 100 meters drop. With such a drop, I would not survive. Even on those short straight, I can just pedal a few strokes, but then I have to apply the brakes, and it's very hard on my hands because I'm already leaning down at 8%, and at braking I basically put all my weight on my wrists. And still I have to shift my weight a little bit backwards on my seat so I don't trip over, because it's very easy to trip over at a heavy braking. My camera doesn't have a G-force recording, but I assume it's about 1 G. When I'm braking. I have to be careful about oncoming cars and oncoming cyclists as they go slowly up the hill, and I might hit head to head. So I would say have to be careful with this. the cars usually use their horn on the blind turn, but the cyclists are silent, so you have to be wary of the cyclists, not of the cars. Well, some cars forget to use their horns, but most of them do when they're coming up and down to warn everyone around the corner. And cyclists do not shout, they just silently climb up, gasping for air, because it's a tough climb. I cannot pedal on turns because my pedal may touch the ground and I will trip over as well. That won't be fun. It's about 3 kilometers downhill. It's going to be over soon because I'm going quite fast. Some spots are not very clean, but I'm not slipping. So far so good. That's a longer stretch, so let's accelerate. Actually no, it's a turn. So I'm down the hill. I've hit the bottom and it didn't seem very fast. I can cycle it on a even surface probably faster than that. So let's try a steeper uphill and more moderate downhill. So that is the mountain I'm about to climb. It's steep on one side, more moderate on the other side. I'll be about 550 meters above the sea level. And let's test the speed and overall feeling of the descent of that mountain, which is more moderate on the other side. But it should be a nice climb. The sun is beaming. It's just 23 degrees. It's 9:30 and weather is good. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm at the top of the mountain, 450 meters above the sea level, and I'll start my descent on a far more open turns and a slightly more moderate downhill, which is about 2% less than on a previous one. I already can feel that I can enter the turns at a higher speed, and I'm spinning my pedals more than previously. Previously I was just rolling down most of the time. Ciao. Yeah, wider entries are much better, so much better. I can use my speed to make the turns much faster. No wonder there are no villages on the other side, and this side has villages. Opa! That's a bump, really bad bump. Didn't notice it. They are very dangerous. I could flip over easily. Oh yeah, it was a bit too fast on this one. Barely made it. Ciao. It's more fun on such a more modern downhill, more open. It's less adrenaline, but there is enough adrenaline at such a high speed. It's dangerous enough, but probably not as much as on the previous one. Ciao. And I already feel that my speed is much higher because the downhill becomes longer, and that gives more time to accelerate. And we have to not forget the wind resistance. The faster you go on a steep downhill, the more wind resistance you will face. The more wind resistance, the more loss. So optimal speed is about 50-60 kilometers an hour. Beyond that, the power needed to overcome the wind resistance is so great that it's impractical. Ciao. Here I have just -4, -6 downhill. And it looks lovely. Ciao. Oops. Here we go. Yeah, motorcycle is fun. Another turn. Of course, pros go much faster on such windy roads. I'm no pro, but it's still a thrilling experience, especially on 180-degree turns like this one. Okay, now a longer stretch comes here. Looks very good. Nice descent, nice speed, and heart rate normal. So I can still speak without losing my breath. Ciao. Okay, this has completed my descent. It's about the same descent as previous one. It was longer on or shorter, I don't know. I'll find that out. I'll find that out when I check the record. But for now, it's more pleasant. It's far more open, doesn't feel so dangerous, looks faster and more exciting. And I was thrilled during the 108-degree turns, which lasted just a fraction of a second, but it's a great feeling to turn around so quickly. There is one more climb, smaller one, just about 100-150 meters, and even more moderate downhill waiting in front. So that will be the third test, and we'll then be able to compare which one of the three was the fastest, the more efficient, lower heart rate, more exciting, and that can be done in a few minutes. So 225 meters above the sea level, and I'm starting my descent towards close to sea level. That's a more moderate downhill, no tight turns, but more cars. They will be the ones stopping me. I think I have to overtake them. I have to go on brakes with them because they are too slow. Right there. They are a nuisance, complete nuisance, and there are 4 cars in front of me. I have to find the longest stretch to overtake them. There will be a tight turn soon, and I'll see if I can get over them then. They obstruct my view as well. Actually 5 cars. Okay, we'll try it then. They're so slow. Inefficient, in other words. They're so inefficient. No fun at all. Okay, let's try. That's one done. Oh, come on, move on. Brakes are for cowards. Yeah, sometimes. Okay, let's go. Go on, I'm on brakes. Okay, that's enough. Conclusion is, cars spoil the fun, they pose the danger, and on such downhills there are way too many of them. It's hard to overtake due to oncoming traffic. I would say downhill number 3 is the worst. You're constantly in waiting, going slowly, and waiting for the disaster to happen. Because a disaster to happen is if one car brakes sharply, the other brakes even sharper, and a bicycle cannot brake as sharp as a car. And I'm basically coming into the car as a passenger. So I'd say this descent is a no-go at all. Number 2 was the best. Number 3 required the most caution because hitting a car is painful. Falling 100 plus meters down the slope is deadly. So I have descended 210 meters basically with stress only, slowly and stressed. So don't like it.